Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Steve Montelli, and today I have some really beautiful work to show you from J. Michael Ashland in Oregon. He makes some really gorgeous stuff, and he sent me 3 examples of the leather work he puts out. The belt, which I'll go into in a few minutes, the key fob, which is really not a lot to go into. It just shows you an example of his work, and we'll go into that a little closer in a few minutes also. And we'll start with the wallet. Now the wallet is a Horween Chromexel, which I love the Chromexel. It's a snap wallet, and I told him, well, you know what, I'm not so much in love with the snap, but I really do like the layout of the wallet. And as you can see on the outside, he does some really nice stitching. All hand stitched, nothing machine stitched on it. He's really quite obsessive about his leather, and I will read something in here in a few minutes that he wrote as a description to some of the leather stuff I have here. Anyway, he's quite obsessive, somewhat like myself, on these minimalist wallets. The inside is very simple. It's a couple of places for cards here and cash on the right. Now the cash has to be quartered to actually fit, so that it doesn't kind of fold onto the other side. But I've had some comments lately about, well, why don't you ever put the cash into thirds? So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to put the cash into thirds. But you can see just the fine stitching here. I mean, really nice stuff. He's got a mark on here. Now, he calls this not so much like an embossing or a brand. He calls it more of a maker's mark, which means that it's completely handmade by the maker, and I believe this is a maker's mark also on the outside. So I could possibly have that completely wrong, and this is a brand, but at least this is the maker's mark for sure. All right, so glad I could get that straightened out for you. But beautiful work. Now, let me give it the sniff test. As you know, the sniff test is infallible. The sniff test has never been wrong. So hold on now, don't go anywhere. In fact, you know what? You look at the key fob while I give it the sniff test, all right? And the key fob is really nice too. Hold on, I'll be right back. Here we go. All right. Yeah, that is definitely a Chromexel. There is no hint of any kind of bad leather with this at all. But like I say, Chromexel is my favorite leather. I used to think it was the Shell Cordovan, but you know what? Nothing really smells like a Chromexel does. So the tab is cut out of the top piece here, and you can see where, so it's cut just like this as one piece. It goes out like that, and then it's sewn together. So like I say, the tab, the snap tab, is not my favorite thing in the world, but with this wallet it's certainly doable. So let's stick some cards in here. I'm going to put 5 cards in it, and I'm going to put 6 bills in it. So I got the blank cards here. So let's put 3 in the back as the ones that don't get used too much. And let's put 2 in the front. And we'll pretend those are the quick draw cards. Then I'm going to fold the cash into thirds. All right, I'm going to appease the thirds people. I'm going to fold it into thirds. In fact, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to quarter the cash. Now, I already don't like quartering the cash. Okay? So, and I will push it down so that I don't bias the whole thing. So there's the cash quartered. All right, now, okay, we're done with that. So let me put it into thirds now for the thirds folks, because I don't think thirds is a bad idea at all, and I never really think of doing it in thirds. So it's good the thirds folks brought that up. So there it is into thirds. Let's slide her on in there. Okay, push it down again. So that's into thirds. So that's all right, I mean, for a wallet this elegant and well done, thirds works okay. Actually, you know what we're going to do now? I'm really blowing it up big today. Hold on to your hats now. I'm going to fold it in half. Let's see if half is going to work at all. Let's slip it under the cards and fold it in half, and this is already not going to do it. Nope, not going to do it. All right, back to the thirds, and I'll show you the thickness of the whole thing. So 1/3, 2/3. I know how much you like looking at the back of my hands. Okay, so there you go. Now let's close it up. Now it stays closed, okay, without the snap on it. You know, it's okay, but with the snap on it, there you go. Very nice work. Edges are all finished. Very nice work. Very nice work. Now, you know what? I'm going to do this one more way. Okay, one more way I'm going to do this. This could also be done. Fold it in half, all right? And just put it on the outside, just like that. Now close it. See, that's good. Really, what's wrong with that? There's not much wrong with that. And this being that it's a snap closure, the cash is not going to fall out. That's actually not a bad thing right there. So anyway, J. Michael Ashland, beautiful wallet. You know, I thank him for sending that out because, I mean, gorgeous piece of work. Can I say that any more for you? All right, let's move on to the key fob. There's not a whole lot to look at on the key fob, but it is a beautiful piece of work too. Now, I tried this a few times. Now, I carry the keys on a D-ring hung on a belt loop, so I used this a few times, and you know, there's a great possibility that I really don't know how to use this properly. Now, one would think that any kind of moron would know to hook this to the belt loop, and then this goes somewhere else. It hangs down. I'm not your average moron here. You know, it takes me a while to really figure this stuff out. Anyway, I hung it on the belt loop, and then I slipped this part into the pocket, and it does work pretty good like that. So I tried it both ways, hanging down on the side and slipped into the pocket. I kind of like slipping into the pocket better. But he really does, look at that, nice work on that too. And this stuff is really put together well. I mean, I don't think that there's any chance of this ever coming apart. Got the maker's mark right there. The J. Michael Ashland maker mark. Anyway, nice key fob he sent along. Now, I'm going to take a look at the belt because the belt is really something special. I'm not going to unroll the whole belt, but you can see the general work. This is the way the entire belt looks. Now, look at the stitching detail on there. This is never going to come apart. Now, I'm going to read you some technicals on the belt, and you know, I'll try not to drag it out for too long, but there are some technicals on this belt that are pretty impressive, and the buckle is actually one of them. So really nice looking belt. So hold on a second now. All right, here we go. I'll try and make it brief. The belt is a steer hide, a 10-ounce latigo, 2 ounces more than average. So it's a bull hide that is mature, allowing it to be thicker and stronger in its top grain leather. It is infused with additional oils, hot stuffed, which makes it weather resistant and keeps it soft to the touch. Screws will unscrew, straps will fail, but permanently sewn with bonded polyester, this belt is the best in the market, period. Oh, and the solid low-lead contoured heel buckle is definitely not cheap. So all those words right after the solid low-lead contoured heel buckle. I think I said low something else at first. Anyway, low-lead contoured heel buckle is definitely not cheap. Now, I understand none of that except for buckle. So there's the buckle, and those of you that know good buckles will know what I'm talking about, you know, in the pre part of the buckle word. Like all my products, it's marked with a maker's mark. So this, apparently right there, is the maker's mark. The only maker's mark I know of is some alcohol. It's called maker's mark. And a maker's mark means I made it 100% by hand. This is J. Michael speaking, of course, not yours truly. A brand is a logo for marketing. A maker's mark means I made it 100% by hand. So that is the belt, and you can see that really, really well done. I mean, this thing is solid, and you can see that it is pretty thick leather. So I have it kind of tied together here so I can get it in the frame. But the whole thing is just beautiful, and I've tried it, and it's really, really solid. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to be trying it, you know, a little more to hold the pants up. But jmichaelashland.com. I will put his link down in the description box, of course. But man, you know, this is some really, really nice stuff. So thanks so much for sending that out, J. Michael. All right, you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you on the next review.